The year is 1996. The famous blizzard of 96 is underway, and for the first time more email has been sent than postal mail in the United States. A little company known as Future Wave Software is about to change the internet forever with the release of their Future Splash player. This is the first form of Adobe Flash, but we aren't there yet. Future Splash Player was released alongside their SWF file type. This file type was made so animations could run on systems with slow network connections. Later that same year, Future Wave Software was acquired by Macromedia. This is when the Future Splash Player became the Macromedia Flash Player. Originally, Flash was used to create websites that were more creative than what could be made with HTML at the time. From 96 to 99, very few Flash games were made until Tom Fulp kickstarted the Flash game scene with his game Pico School, released in 1999 on his website newgrounds.com. From there, the Flash games scene exploded with sites like Congregate and Armor Games popping up to host these Flash games. For 6 years, the Flash game scene continued to grow until 2005 when Adobe acquired Macromedia. This is when it became the Adobe Flash Player. Within 3 years of the acquisition, Newgrounds, one of the more popular hosting sites, was able to boast a whopping 1.5 million users. With the expansion of broadband connectivity in the early 2000s, way more people were able to play Flash games, thus greatly increasing its popularity. A short time after Facebook was released in 2004, they included support for browser games such as Farmville. YouTube was released in 2006, and from there a ton of Flash games were able to cultivate a community and expand to new audiences. Flash games were doing so well at the time that developers such as Humongous Entertainment reported that they lost players to Flash games in the early 2000s. The golden age of Adobe Flash lasted roughly 10 years until 2010 when things began to look much worse for Adobe Flash. From the very beginning, there were security issues with Flash, but they were overlooked by the majority of the community. The CVE, which stands for Common Vulnerabilities and Exposures, is a list of publicly disclosed security issues with software and hardware. Adobe Flash has over 1,000 entries in the CVE, and over 800 lead to arbitrary code execution, which is very bad for the security of users. Not to mention that past vulnerabilities in Adobe Flash have led to people being spied on through their webcams. With all of these problems, the US Computer Emergency Response Team recommended blocking Flash. The creators of Flash games started to make less money due to mobile games becoming more popular and offering in-app purchases. Adobe Flash's death certificate was signed in 2010 when Steve Jobs wrote a letter detailing why he wouldn't allow Flash to be on the iPhone, iPod, or iPad. Finally, Adobe accepted the death of Flash in July 2017 when they released a public statement that they would end support in 2021, and that all major browsers would stop supporting it by December 31st, 2020. Browser games took a huge shift in the 2010s with multiplayer browser games that weren't made with Flash, such as Agar.io and many others that are still being released to this day. Many of the most popular Flash games live on to this day by running off of Flash emulators. The golden age of Flash games is gone, and nothing like it will ever exist again.